Hello, welcome on into today's video. I am welcoming you to my May sinking funds count up. I do this at the end of every single month to see how much progress I am making in my sinking funds, my savings, my goals for the future. I do this using a spreadsheet that I use to calculate all the differences, meaning the positive and negatives, as well as the total balance overall. So I have that up on my laptop off to the side, and we have quite a few binders to go through. We have some online accounts that I do include in here, so you will not see that. I usually go over those first. And yeah, before I get into it, I just want to welcome you if you are new. Hello, I am Deidre. I have been consumer debt free since April of last year. I live in Canada, as you will eventually see from our colorful money in these binders. I live on the prairies. I work full time. I'm a single income individual. I am single. I'm not married. I'm not partnered. None of that. And yeah, I only have a mortgage on a condo as my current debt. And my goal has been for next year to move. But now I've been doing a little bit of research the last few days, just, trying to get a really good idea because I know cost will increase, mortgage will be more than I currently have. Utilities, insurance, because when you live in a condo like I do, it's more like renter's insurance. It's not like home insurance. And just trying to, budget some things out. And I'm feeling a bit defeated, if I'm really being honest with you. If you have been around a while, this has been something that I've been wanting to really achieve. And I think unless I get my new place that I will be purchasing around a mortgage of about $200,000, I think I'm going to be potentially stretching myself really thin. I've just been trying to get a few online quotes just to get an idea. Of course, I don't know exactly where I'm going to be buying or what I'm going to be buying, but it's looking like house insurance on a townhouse, which is what I'm hoping to purchase, is going to be way more than I thought it was. And that will also change my car insurance and things like that. So it's still a goal of mine. I think I just need to be extremely realistic next year when I go to purchase a different place about the costs, because being single income, that is a huge factor in being able to pay bills. So I would just say right now I'm feeling a bit defeated. I'm feeling like if I go ahead and do this, I have to be incredibly intentional about my purchase, because I still need to save for my retirement. I still need to save for emergencies. I still need to save for future goals, and cover basic bills. So yes, if you've been around, I'm feeling a bit defeated. I'm still saving up for a new place. My goal is to still get a dog when I move. But yeah, just reality. Reality, which is important to live in reality all the time, especially when it comes to finances. So before we get into it, I am going to just do my online accounts first. So I have a vehicle account, which is meant for vehicle expenses, not gas, more like repairs, regular maintenance. So at the end of May, I have $575.84 in this account. It is up $70.20 from last month. I do put a regular amount every single paycheck into this account, so that is why it is up. Plus, it earns like a smidgen of interest. Next up is what I call a household account, and I've been mainly using this to buy things, like toilet paper, laundry, soap. If it's kind of outside of what my grocery budget's going to allow, I have purchased new sheets. I've used it to purchase printer cartridges, so things like that. It has $70.86 in here, and it is actually up 72 cents. The reason is it got a regular amount, but some stuff from Costco was purchased, so that is why it kind of pretty much didn't change, because it got put in and taken out. So, but that's okay. Next up is Christmas. I am saving up for Christmas. I do every single year. I start saving up in January, and I have a rough budget of what I plan to spend per person, and I do allow a little bit of variance as well. And the amount varies per person. So, yeah. At the end of April, I had $180.10 in here, and at the end of May, I have $220.17. So it is up just over $40, which is correct because it is getting money regularly. So we are going to go to, I think, this binder here first. I do sometimes have to scroll, so do apologize. So this is my home binder, and like I said, I am saving for a new place. This has nothing to do with the down payment. The down payment, I'm going to use that in quotations, would come from the equity obtained from my current condo. So this is lawyer's fees, home inspection, setting up utilities, moving costs, etc. So it has 1,000, 2,000, 200, 450. So 2,450 in here, and that is up $190 from last month. And this is going to start getting way more money coming up, which is awesome. So next up is going to be my condo insurance. Now this is condo insurance for next year. I did actually complete it because I was using some challenges. I saved $360 in here. It actually got paid right at the end of April because it was due for the beginning of May, and so I have fully funded it for next year. Obviously I don't know if I'm still going to be here, but I'd rather have it and be able to obviously pay for it. And if I do move after, then insurance typically will give you money back, or I might stay with the same insurance company. I'll see. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I just know I have $360 in there, and so it is up to $360. So next up is furniture. So this is furniture for a new place, not my current place, and I should have 280 in here. So we have 250 in the bank and 70 and 80. So let me just find it on my spreadsheet, I mean. So this will hopefully eventually start getting a little bit of regular love in the future, but yeah, it had 270 at the end of April, and so it's up $10, which is great. And I have one for appliances as well as home maintenance, which would be for probably a future place. So next up, I'm going to do this binder here, but actually before I forget, I need to grab out my one binder just to show you. I don't have anything in here. It's all in the bank. But if you have been around for quite a while, you know I have been I saved money using this iris binder. By the way, everybody is always linked down below in terms of what I use. This is the $500 iris binder. I used this twice to save up $1,000 for surgery well, it's not for my surgery. I'm going to need surgery, and I'm waiting for the call to find out when I'm having surgery. I'm hoping it's this summer, but we're at the end of May and I still haven't gotten the call. So like, fingers crossed, if everybody could like send out positive vibes. I just want to know when I'm actually having surgery. The doctor was hoping this summer, but yeah. So I'm needing surgery, and I will be off on disability for probably about 2 months. I suspect I will be off at least 3 months. I was last year when I had this surgery I need to have this year on the opposite side of my body. So I was off last year. I did not need to use a disability because I had enough sick time banked. I worked in my current organization for over 15 years. So I had built up a lot of sick time over the years. Not that I didn't take sick time, but I did save up quite a bit. So it was all paid for. I will only have roughly about a month's worth of sick time this time, so I need about 2 months a minimum. So I saved up $1,000 using this binder that I've had sitting in an account since I saved it up, and so I have 1,000 in there. There's no change. There's a little bit of interest, but I'm just not going to count it. So the goal is to help me pay for my regular expenses if I need it. I don't really know how disability is going to totally work. I know I should ask one of my coworkers who's a friend. She's been on it before because she's had multiple surgeries. So, but it's kind of like a buffer. So that I forgot last month, so I wanted to include it this month. And here in this 1K binder, I am using this to save up for a big chunk to go into my tax-free savings, which in Canada is just an investment vehicle that you can use. When you withdraw the money, you are not taxed. There's lots of rules and regulations against how much you can put in in, what your total amount that you can put in over a lifetime is, etc. But I'm going to earmark this for retirement in the future. I am contributing to pre-tax RRSPs, which is again another vehicle, but it's a retirement vehicle. And I'm also putting in some post-tax into RSPs as well. But this would be sort of like my ideal is to retire a year early and have about a year's worth of expenses in the tax-free savings that I can use. So I don't have to start like Canada pension plan, withdrawing old age security, which automatically can happen at 65. So that's kind of the goal, just putting a lump sum of 1,000 in there this year. And I'm just going to add up how much I actually need to stuff in the binder still. I'm getting pretty good in this, so let me make sure I don't mess up anything. I'm just going to go 60 there and 30 there, 30 there, and 50 there. But we are going to take out, we have $80 in here, so we should have $320 left to stuff, and it's $1,000, so we have $680 in this binder, which is awesome. It will be so nice to put that $1,000 in the bank. Hopefully I can get that done this summer, or you know, before October. That would be really nice. So next up, I'm just going to grab out this binder because it only I only have a few challenges that I count in here. So I have a 2027 challenge that I did complete. I was using this to help save up for my condo insurance. I am going to start this again and save up here starting in June. So it has $0, but it had $300 last month because, like I said, I was helping this and a couple other challenges I was using to help me save. And I did complete 2 challenges earlier this year. I have a yearly savings, and this is from Budget with Ira. By the way, the 27 and 26 challenges are from Ira as well. And in that one, I saved 180. So I've just kind of left them in there. So I haven't spent the money. It's sitting in a savings account. I have no plans yet for that money. So we still have the 180 and a 120 in there. So yeah, that's great. Next up, we're going to go into this binder. So this houses my emergency fund. This tracker, I have 3 custom trackers in here from Iris over at Iris Budgets, who made the amazing binders. And so in emergency, which is a goal of mine this year, just have to scroll up to get it to at least $3,000, and I think I should far surpass that. If everything goes to plan, I'm really hoping to get this up to $4,000 this year, but we will see. So in emergency of 1,000, 2,000, 2,500, 2,700, which is great. We have $150 more than last month in there. So we are well on our way to the goal of $3,000. So next up is new vehicle. And where is that on my sheet? Okay, down there. Okay, new vehicle. This is to just start saving towards a new vehicle. I shouldn't need one for quite a while, but I don't really want to take on debt to get one. Or if I do, it has to be a low loan. So I'm just starting in the habit of saving up. So in new vehicle, we have a 450 in the bank, 460, 465, and 470. So we are up $90 in this one, which is very cool. So we should definitely be getting to 500 soon. And I mean, I don't know if I can get it to $1,000 this year, but to get to 500 would be really cool. So next up is month ahead, and that's at the very bottom of my spreadsheet. Okay, month ahead. So my goal is to purchase a new place. We'll see. And then sell my current condo, just to make the whole moving process way easier. But I would use this money to help me just pay for regular bills that I have, instead of relying solely on my paycheck. So we are working on our 2nd month. We've already saved up 1 month, and we have, and this is where I need a calculator. So we have 120, let me move these binders out of the way for a moment. So we have 120 for cell phone, 120 for gas, so vehicle gas, 180 for car insurance, 200 for groceries, 330 for property taxes. That's current property that is, property taxes that I pay for my current condo, $360 for cable and internet, $890 for condo fees, because if I still have my condo, I will owe condo fees every month. Mortgage is not fully funded. It's fully funded for 1 month, so $610. And the buffer, just a buffer to have in there, is been funded for 1 month, so there is $100 in there, because the amounts on here are 2 months worth of bills. So we have $2,910, which is $150 more than last month, which is amazing. So if we need to get to $3,670, we need $760 to complete essentially all of these categories for a second month, which again, if everything goes according to plan, I should be able to do that by the end of the year. I have even factored in if I have surgery and I am off. So like I say, if everything goes to plan. So I'm going to bring in this binder just because there's not as much in this binder that I need to deal with. So renewals is basically for my car insurance. Car insurance. I'm recording this after work. I do apologize. Car registration that is due in September, and my AAA registration, my membership, sorry, that's due next April. I've already fully funded that. So there should be $200 in here because each one is about $100. So yes, $200. Let me find that on there. And it is no change from last month. Subscriptions, I have a Sirius XM subscription. I have decided I'm going to cancel it when it comes due in July, as the renewal will be like probably over $20 a month. I'm not going to pay that. I'm going to play hardball with them. I listen to it while I am working, but I also listen to it in my vehicle. And so I don't want to pay more than $5 a month. What I did is I got a good deal 2 years ago for $5 a month. I just saved up $60, threw it on my credit card because it would just charge monthly. And I did the same thing last year. I've decided not to do that. I've decided to cancel. And if they can entice me back with a $5 or so a month, then I will do that, and it will just become a regular bill. So next up, I've moved my technology into this because it is basically a low priority at this point. I have fully funded my technology category for now. I might come back and bump it up in the future, but for now, we are going to consider it fully funded. And this is to potentially replace a laptop when mine decides to quit working. So it had $630 at the end of April, and so we did the extra 20 in there, so we're fully funded for now. So that's amazing. So next up is health. So health should have 125 in here. This is a health buffer, so when my benefits no longer reimburse me for things like prescriptions, chiropractic visits, physiotherapy visits, and I do have to go to physio about every 6 to 8 weeks. It happens after I get an injection from a doctor and I go to physio. I have to pay out of pocket. I'm typically reimbursed for that. So money just kind of, yeah, like I don't need it, but come usually the end of the year, my benefits no longer reimburse me. So I wanted to have a nice buffer that I can just take the money and basically reimburse myself. So we have 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, and 125. So we are up $10 in here. The goal is to get it to 150. And I have some mini challenges that I kind of have indicated to go towards this. I don't think I've ever got it up to the 150. This is, I think, one of the closest I've gotten it to. So it'd be very nice to have it up there. Next up is travel. Travel has not changed since last year. Travel has $150 in there. Travel is a low priority for me. It just with things going on, my other goals. Also, I mean, even before all the craziness in the world, flying from anywhere in Canada, even places in Canada, is super expensive. So travel is just not a priority. I have thought about redistributing this money, but for now, I want to leave it in there kind of to remind myself maybe you're going to want to start eventually saving for something travel. So next up is date night, time for myself. It's basically time for myself. I've mainly been using this money for yoga classes put on through my city's rec program. I won't be doing it over the summer. It's not really offered much in the summer, but it will start to be offered again in the fall, and it will be probably about 50 to 60 bucks for each kind of group of sessions, depending on if it's a 5 week session or a 6 week. So that's most likely what I'll use the money for. But if I wanted to say go to a comedian, I wanted to go see like a theater show, if I wanted to buy tickets for that, if I wanted to buy tickets for a festival, I could use this money. So we have 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, and 90, which is great. It is no change from last month, but that's okay. I'm happy that I have that there. And we have one more binder to go through. I'm just going to move the calculator out of the way because I shouldn't need it. So this is one of my longer videos. I do try and keep it definitely under a half an hour. I know lots of people you want to probably support in the budgeting community. I know I like watching people, so I try and keep my videos shorter so that you can definitely go and support others during your day. But I do appreciate you watching. And actually, if you have made it to this point, I would actually love it if you would leave me a red heart emoji so that I know that you're still here. So first up we have hair. These are revolving. These are things that get money, that have money taken out for the first part of the binder anyways. And my hair appointment's coming up next week. So this will be depleted, but it will start getting money in June again. So we have 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, and 75. So it is up 30 bucks. And like I say, it will be depleted, but it will get money again. And next up is nails. My nail appointment isn't for a few days, but I just took out the money already because I know it's coming up. It's actually coming up on Sunday. So we have 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 in nails. And so it had 60, it's down to 30, but like I say, it's gonna then get billed back up. And I usually almost always have about one appointment. My appointments are $30, by the way. I usually do have about one appointment saved all the time in here. So next up is beauty, which had $40, last month. And it has 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60. Let's make sure I'm in the right spot. Yep. So we are up 20 bucks, and this tends to get used for skincare, makeup, hair care, that sort of thing. That's not like drugstore prices. If it's something I can buy at the drugstore and I have the spending money to do, I'll do it. This is more of a more expensive skincare, my more expensive hair care. So next up is clothes. I'm losing some weight right now, but so this will probably need to be used here and there, but no real plans to buy anything right now. So we have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, and 85. So it is up $10 from last month, and it's kind of just getting money the odd time from challenges, just because it's not a super big priority at the current moment. And next up is some priorities. This is pets. I do not have a pet. This is a pet for the future. The whole point to be purchasing a new place is to be able to get a pet, but also have family pets visit as well. They're not allowed in where I currently live. I have $1,500 in here, and I'll just quickly show you the placeholders. So we have 1,500 in the bank, and the goal this year is to get this to 2,000. I should, again, if everything goes according to plan, I should definitely meet that. I'm not going to probably surpass it by a huge amount, but you know what? That is okay, because that is a huge accomplishment. Next up is gifts. So I'm in gift season. Well, it's Father's Day next month. My sister's birthday's at the beginning of July. My dad and my brother are about mid-August. My brother-in-law's at the end of August. I'm at the end of August. I don't use use gift money to buy myself gifts, but, and my mom is born mid-September, so we are definitely into it, and it's going to be a priority getting money starting in June. So we should have 200 in here, and some money is going to be taken out. I'm going to go buy my dad's father's gift this weekend, so I'm going to take some money out of here, but I just have to decide how much. So we have 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 2. And where is it on my spreadsheet? Right there. Okay, so this is up 65 bucks from last month, which is good. And I do set a rough budget in my kind of head about how much I want to spend per person. I don't go super crazy. I like to give meaningful or useful gifts. So next up is giving. I haven't made a donation in the month of May, but this is where I could, or if I wanted to give to a cause or a person, I could take the money out of here. And so we have we had $40 in here last month, and we now have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. And that is absolutely correct. So let me just quickly go over my spreadsheet. I just didn't want to miss anything that I should be tracking. By the way, I'm not tracking any of my investments. I'm not tracking my checking account on here. I am not counting the account that I put money into to pay for property taxes. These are the only sinking funds that I choose to share, and these are more things that I put money into quite regularly or are goals. So let me just do a quick visual check and make sure. And I think we have them all, so that's awesome. So at the end of April, across all of these different categories, we had a total of $14,155.88. And at the end of May, we have $15,241.87, which means I saved $1,085.99 in May, which is amazing. I will say I have very low expenses currently. This does allow me to put a lot towards my goals, which is very important to me. I also have no debt. Like I said earlier in the video, I only have a mortgage, so I'm not super high income. I would say I make decent money, especially being a single individual, but the real reason is my expenses are fairly low right now, and I am trying to save almost as much as I can to help fund these goals. So definitely I'm super proud of myself, and if you aren't saving and sinking funds, aren't saving for goals, I hope this gives you motivation. But again, don't compare yourself to me. This has been building up over years, so I didn't get here overnight. It has taken years of budgeting and being consistent, and also when I paid off my debt, consciously choosing to put that money towards goals instead of adding it back into my budget to potentially spend. Because if you are new, I'm a spender. That is why I was in so much debt, because I had a definite spending problem. So yeah, definitely do not compare yourself to me. I used to save maybe a couple $100 a month when I was paying off my debt. But you know what? Those couple $100 build up, and $5 adds up, and $10 adds up. So don't get discouraged. But yeah, I am super proud of that. I can't wait to see where I'm at in June. Let's see if we can save roughly about the same amount. But yeah, I hope you will stick around. I hope you will subscribe if you are not. I plan to do a giveaway when I reach 500 subscribers. You cannot win if you are not subscribed. My next video, I have no idea what it will be. It might be a savings challenge video into June, kind of around the time I get paid. So I hope you will come back and watch that. And I hope you have an amazing day, amazing weekend if you're watching this just before the weekend. But yeah, I appreciate you so much, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.